Hello dear friends, my name is Roger Target and today I would like to tell you about June 8, 1990, a turning point in the history of not only All Japan Pro Wrestling, but of professional wrestling in general. And I'll do it in 5 minutes. It doesn't seem surprising to us now that Kazuchika Okada, Kaito Kiyomi and other really young wrestlers are high in the cuts. That's not how it used to be. Promoters were very afraid to take risks. By grabbing one star, they could keep him at the top indefinitely for decades. Such an ace in All Japan was Jumbo Tsuruta. Tsuruta made a name for himself back in the mid-70s, representing the promotion at various levels, including NWA. It's worth nothing that All Japan didn't have their own belts until 1989. The main achievement for the wrestler was to win one of the tournaments, but also from time to time the promotion played out the belts under the auspices of NWA. And it was Tsuruta who in 1978 was delegated to several matches for the NWA World Championship and Intercontinental Championship titles. The confidence in him was enormous. He was seen as the real star. And of course it's not surprising that Tsuruta became the first Triple Crown champion, beating the youngsters and gaijins. But logical thing happened. The audience began to tire of him. No matter how successful a wrestler you are, no matter who you beat or what titles you win, the hardest test is the test of time. The fans may idolize you, but what happens after 5-10 years of seeing you every week? And then it's important to be able to step into the shadows in time, so that after a while, those same fans will want to see you again. But even more subtle is the art of pressing the button. It's not always possible to do that, so something had to be done. Baba told Tsuruta that no matter what he did, he couldn't run the company alone. Tsuruta had 3 young wrestlers in his care: Mitsuharu Misawa, Toshiaki Kawada and Kenta Kobashi. The choice was Misawa because of his experience. Misawa, on the other hand, wasn't himself at the time. He was Tiger Mask, a role he hated mainly because of the mask. He saw nothing in it. When Misawa was finally told that people would find out about his identity, it was a relief to him. However, right after Misawa took off his Tiger Mask, he challenged Tsuruta. The pressure on Misawa was more than he had imagined. A good match was not enough. He had to deliver both result and content. He was being tested to see if he was capable of carrying All Japan on his shoulders. There is a story of how Akel Misawa turned the dinner table over because of his nervous state. However, Tsuruta was aware that the process would be meaningless unless he was a stronger target in the process. It was the ace sense of responsibility. I must create a hotter match than with Tenryu by becoming a high wall for the younger generation. The background of this single match is clearly the financial crisis of All Japan Pro Wrestling because of creating SWS and the departure of many wrestlers to this company. Most of them were contractually grey, and even Giant Baba, who was known as sensible and moderate promoter, was furious. In a pro wrestling magazine, he shamelessly and openly stated, "They are trying to pull us out." There were even rumors about possible bankruptcy of All Japan. After the tag team match with Kawada, Mitsuharu Misawa challenged Tsuruta for Triple Crown title. Essentially, a young wrestler who recently won tag team belts is challenging the perennial main eventer, the company champion. It would seem that this should have been an ordinary passing match, but it was from this match that golden history of Misawa career began to written. The plan was simple and ingenious at the same time. 3 days before the match, Tsuruta loses the title to Gaijin, Terry Gordy, and it puts him on the brink of disgrace. And he loses to American from the Hero of Nation, and even more so. The loss of company main asset was regarded almost as an insult at the national level. Jumbo urgently needed to rehabilitate himself in eyes of public. And what better way to do that than to defeat an insolent and arrogant youngster by putting him in his place in the main event of the show? There is no way to lose to Jumbo because it would be very bad for him. On June 8, 1919, at a packet Nippon Budokan, Misawa defeated Jumbo Tsuruta and went down in the history as the boy who beat an ace. I cried. It was the first time I cried since I started pro wrestling. I guess I was more moved by myself than by the fact that I won. There was a lot of pressure. I couldn't move my legs when I left home, so I guess it was a sense of satisfaction that I had endured. After this victory, Japanese management was no longer afraid to bet on young wrestlers, creating a new generation of top wrestlers of the world level. Top wrestlers that Misawa paved the way for.